Hey, this is Dr. Berry. In this quick video, let's discuss the rumor you may have heard that the ketogenic diet causes kidney stones. And then we're going to get into what actually does cause kidney stones and what you can do to prevent them or keep from having another one if you've had one in the past. Now, if you know someone who's worried about kidney stones or who's had one in the past, feel free to share this video with them. You can send it to them on Facebook, on a text message, email, Instagram. You can even just write them a letter if you'd like. Okay, so let's talk about this. There's multiple different types of kidney stones, but I'm going to talk about the three most common because they make up about 98, 99% of all kidney stones. By far, the most common is calcium oxalate stones and other calcium based stones. They make up about 80 to 85% of all kidney stones. The second most common is a uric acid stone. That's more common in men for some reason. It's made up of uric acid that makes up about 7 to 10% of all kidney stones. And then struvite stones are much more common in women, and they come from repetitive bladder and kidney infections. It builds up a struvite stone. So the rumor you may have heard that the ketogenic diet or a high protein diet or a high fatty meat diet increases your risk of a kidney stone is just not based on any science, and it's also not based on common sense. So between the years of 2001 and 2010, the hospitalization rates for kidney stones. So if every day we pass little micrometer stones every day, it's not a big deal. You never even know you do it. When they start to get about 1 millimeter in size, you can kind of feel them a little bit, and then when they get bigger than that, that's when you go see the emergency physician, or you get admitted to the hospital if they're 4, 5, or 6 millimeters. And so between 2001 and 2010, hospitalizations from kidney stones increased by 50%. Now, if you can think back to the decade 2001 to 2010, that was way before the ketogenic diet was starting to come back into favor, right? That's when we were eating lots of processed carbs, lots of inflammatory vegetable oils, lots of fructose, and getting fatter and fatter, right? And so that one fact alone would make you doubt the fact if eating a good whole food ketogenic diet would make you have a kidney stone. It doesn't make common sense. And then when you look at the research, things are shown to be associated with kidney stone formation, but it's not high fatty meat, not ketogenic diets that are associated with this. So let's talk about the actual causes, okay? First of all, it's just a chronically inflamed state in the kidney, and that comes from eating inflammatory foods that are highly processed, lots of vegetable oils, lots of processed carbs. Those things inflame the kidneys as well as they inflame everything else. The leading cause of kidney failure in the United States today is not the ketogenic diet, it's the standard American diet and the American Diabetes Association diet, in which you eat lots of processed wheat products, carbohydrates, you drink lots of fruit juice, you eat pancakes, those sorts of things. And so the true causes of kidney stones, I think by far and away the thing that's correlated more with kidney stones than almost everything else is being overweight, being obese. And so I'm not saying that being obese causes kidney stones. I'm saying that the same thing that causes you to be obese also leads to kidney stones. And that ain't fatty meat, right? That's not a ketogenic way. That's the standard American diet. That's what leads to that. So obesity is very, very highly correlated with kidney stone formation. And so also not having enough magnesium in your diet. And you don't necessarily have to take a magnesium supplement. There are multiple ketogenic foods that are rich in magnesium. The average citizen in the United States is very magnesium depleted. Same goes for potassium. And being too low in either one of these can increase your risk of developing a kidney stone. And so when you go out of your way to get plenty of real salt, real magnesium, and potassium in natural sources, you will slash your risk of producing a kidney stone. And so losing weight and getting plenty of magnesium and plenty of potassium and plenty of salt, those things are going to slash your risk of ever forming a kidney stone right off the bat. Now, if you've had a kidney stone in the past, you've probably done a little reading about them and you realize that they're actually a crystal. They're not a stone, right? And crystals form in concentrated solutions. And so you may remember the little experiment from high school if you did it, where you make rock candy or sugar crystals by supersaturating water with sugar, heating the water, putting in even more sugar, and then putting a wooden stick in there. When the water cools, the sugar forms a crystal, right? And that is what rock candy is. Kidney stones or uroliths or renal stones, they form that same exact way. They're actually a crystal that comes from a very, very concentrated solution. And so if you've ever had a kidney stone before, you want to make sure that your urine is never a dark, dark yellow. Okay. If it's as yellow as the paper of a legal pad, you're at increased risk of having a second or a third or a fourth kidney stone. So you want to have your urine to be pretty diluted if you're at risk for kidney stones to start with. And so drinking more water in the case of someone who's had a kidney stone previously is probably going to also decrease your risk. If you're eating a very high carbohydrate, high processed carbohydrate diet, if you're eating vegetable oils like margarine, Crisco, canola, safflower, those things will inflame your entire system and inflame your kidneys. And any inflammation is going to increase the risk of precipitating a stone in your urine. If you're drinking lots of fruit juice, getting lots of fructose, if you're drinking lots of soft drinks and getting a lot of high fructose corn syrup, that's going to increase your risk of a kidney stone as well. And so basically, anything that increases your risk of developing a kidney stone ain't on the ketogenic way of eating. And so that kind of answers that question. There is one study that shows that taking a calcium supplement might increase your risk of developing kidney stones, but going out of your way to get natural sources of calcium in your diet, it does not increase your risk whatsoever. And so that's why I recommend that almost no one should take a calcium supplement. It probably makes it easier for your body to put calcium in places it shouldn't be, like your heart arteries, but then also it probably increases your risk at least a tiny bit of forming a kidney stone. Now, if you have a parathyroid problem and your doctor told you to take calcium, that's a different story. Okay, you need to keep taking that calcium. But if you're just taking a calcium supplement to make your bones stronger, that's probably a waste of money and also increases your risk of kidney stones a tiny bit. So the way to not ever have a kidney stone or to never have a second or third kidney stone is to get lots of magnesium and potassium in your diet, to decrease sugar, fructose, vegetable oils from all causes, to try to get your body weight as close to your ideal body weight as possible, and to drink more water if you're prone to kidney stone formation. And now if you go back and listen to that again, the things I just said are all things that are easily to accomplish on the ketogenic way of eating. So obviously the keto diet does not increase your risk of forming a kidney stone. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, first of all, I've got over 200 videos on this channel now that you can enjoy at your leisure for free. If you'd like to click the subscribe button and the little bell right beside it, then every time I post a new video, you'll be one of the very first people to know. And if you'd like to help me a little bit more to have more time to make videos just like this, you can click on my Patreon link. It's right down below. It's a quick sign up and you can throw a buck or two my way so that I can make videos like this for you for a long time to come. This is Dr. Barry. I'll see you next time.